some questions then on this videocast. Explain why a beach ball may burst if left out in the sun. The air contained in the ball will heat up, and that heat will cause expansion. And if the plastic of the beach ball experiences such a force by that expansion, it may burst it. Explain the movement of molecules in a metal bar when heated. Well, now, when we heat a metal bar, the atoms will heat up and begin to vibrate. These vibrations will collide then, the atoms will collide with neighbouring atoms and pass on the vibrations. But that's only a minor part of the heat conduction in a metal. Now, we are talking about a metal. What happens is that whenever we heat the metal, the free electrons gain heat energy. This then allows them to move through the atomic structure because they're free, and they carry the heat very rapidly through the metal due to that movement of free electrons. Number 3. Railway lines are made from lengths of rails joined together. Why is it important that they are joined as shown in figure 1 rather than figure 2? If we join them in figure 2, they will try to expand when they're heated, and those forces will come up against each other, and because they're coming head on to each other, they could cause it to buckle up and bend the metal. If we have it designed as in figure 1, this expansion will allow them to slide over each other and will accommodate that expansion and contraction due to the changes in the weather. The final question in this section then is to label the metals in the bimetallic strip and explain how the fire alarm shown below works. Well, we have a battery connected to a bell through a bimetallic strip. There's a gap then to a contact screw and background. So we need to be able to make the contact here. And let's think about when we want to make contact. We want to make contact when there's a fire. In other words, under warmer conditions. So when it gets warmer, we want contact. So we want the bimetallic strip to bend towards the contact screw. So we want the material that expands the most on the outside. Brass expands more than iron. So the brass is on the outside and the iron is on the inside. And as the brass expands more, it will bend it towards the contact screw, thus making contact with the circuit, which completes the circuit and rings the fire alarm bell. So to finish off, let's just look at our learning intentions. So by the end of this video cast now, you should be able to explain the 3 forms of heat transfer: conduction, convection and radiation. And for each of those, you should be able to describe how they transfer heat in terms of what happens to particles or the waves. You should be able to explain the difference between conductors and insulators and give examples of each. You should be able to explain absorption and emission of radiation and identify the best absorbers and the best emitters of radiation. You should be able to describe the mechanisms of heat loss and how to reduce them. You should also be able to describe how particles are affected by heat and how different materials expand when heated in terms of the gas, liquid and solid, and also in terms of the differences between different solids. And then you should be able to apply that knowledge to explain how allowances are made for forces created by expansion in different structures, and also in terms of the use of the bimetallic strip.